The Scars of Honor playtest started April 30. I was granted access at 10:13 a.m., and I spent 45 minutes staring at an authorizing screen and called it a day. Day 1 was a bust. Server issues, login failures, unplayable latency. A truly authentic MMO playtest launch experience. I finally got in on day 2. Before we go any further, let's level set. This is a technical playtest. That means they're testing if the game works, not if it's fun. They're looking at server stability, performance, networking, and core systems. So it's not a demo or a preview. It's definitely not a finished product. So yes, I'm going to share my thoughts. But they are, by definition, superficial. The playtest doesn't care about my superficial opinions at this stage of development. And you shouldn't either. But I have a channel that needs content, so here we are. The playtest opens with this screen, letting me know that this is a test to gather data and feedback to refine the game. It's also letting me know that this test is structured into 3 distinct phases, and that I'm entering phase 1. For this playtest, you start at level 16. There's no real tutorial, just a quick overlay explaining movement and training. I assume that's temporary since this didn't feel like a true starting zone experience. Also, my server was deleted at some point during the day, which sounds dramatic, but I had accomplished absolutely nothing, so on to the next server. Okay, first impression. The world is visually engaging. If you like the graphics of World of Warcraft, you'll likely enjoy the visuals of Scars of Honor. I'm a big fan of Vanilla WoW and Classic WoW, so I like the world that Scars of Honor has created. I'll talk more about this in a moment, but I do also want to call out that the UI fits aesthetically really well. It's a pretty standard layout, there's nothing experimental going on, but it uses transparency and clean elements so it doesn't fight the world for attention. It feels modern without being distracting, which is honestly what you want in an MMO. Alright, next up is controls. So, I've been told that I live on an island with my mouse movement gaming preference, and that I'm not going to get any sympathy for my inability to use WASD controls. But here we are, another WASD controlled game. I won't whine about the controls because I agree, I am the lone occupant on the Isle of Left-Hand Stupidity. My left hand is useless. Its primary function is to feed me snacks while the right hand does all the heavy lifting. But with that said, I cannot play this game because I did not find a way to remap the controls to my mouse. So my movement is janky, I'm either overrunning my target or I'm poorly positioned around it. I will move on as this is apparently just a me problem. Now we have to address another problem, which I will assume is restricted entirely to my own special little snowflake corner of existence. My ultrawide monitor was not available for selection. And I know. I feel like I need to bring back the sad violin graphic, because even I am getting annoyed by my own insufferable spoiled princess complaints. Because my monitor was not available, I tried to run the game in windowed mode. This didn't work out either, so I settled for a different setting. You're seeing the best version through OBS. Just know, my personal experience was less cinematic. I'll attach some screenshots of my experience. I didn't enjoy the available monitor settings, but this will probably be fixed later. Alright, let's talk gameplay. Gameplay is fine. I did find more quests on the Sacred Order side than the Domination side. I'm certain that will be rectified as the game is developed. But the quests available were generic and followed standard patterns like go kill things, go places, gather items. NPCs have quest markers above their heads, and the map tells you exactly where to go. This felt a little too helpful. It's one step away from teleporting me directly to the objective. I definitely didn't have to think. And lately, I've been playing other games that do none of this. And I feel like there's a middle ground here that MMOs keep avoiding. It's all or nothing, and games that stubbornly build their identity around both extremes are frustrating to me. The Gathering was interesting. I tried mining, lumberjacking, and fishing. Each had its own minigame. I could not figure out the fishing minigame. There were no instructions, and no button I pressed yielded a successful result. The on-screen activity you're watching is not me. The game is randomly choosing where to stop, so I'm going to assume it's bugged. But even if it isn't, this style of gameplay isn't for me. In my real job, I design game-based learning systems for corporations, and I avoid mechanics that require precision timing or fast reactions because they are inherently inaccessible. Players with motor limitations, fatigue, or visual strain get locked out of those experiences entirely. I am hyper-aware of accessible gaming design and typically choose not to play high-precision games that remain challenging for some while being tailored to be playable by others. So while these minigames are creative, they're not something I find to be accessible for all gamers. So what did I like? Like I said, the graphics are great. They're not realistic, but they're not fully cartoon. They live in that deliberate middle ground where everything is recognizable but exaggerated. Scars of Honor isn't trying to look real, it's trying to look right. Oversized armor, bold colors, and a style that will hold up 20 years later. I think this is a big draw for players because they want a game that looks new, even if it doesn't feel new. The character creator was perfect for a playtest. It gave you exactly what you needed for a week of gameplay. We have a few races, a few hairstyles, and some mild customization options. This is a space where they will likely build in additional features for future tests. Of course, I wanted more, but I didn't need more for a playtest. I'm actually surprised we got the number of choices we did. I do feel obligated to comment on the dwarves. These were the cleanest metrosexual dwarves I have ever seen. I like a grimy, beer-soaked, mountain-dwelling hairball, and I got the most manscaped short king they could draw up. I don't hate them, but I was hoping for more grit. I also liked the talent system. The talent trees are massive, and that's a good thing. Combined with the scars system, the goal is clear. Build individuality, not conformity. And I love that. If you've followed my channel, you've heard me say that I do not like the meta builds of most MMOs. These builds, you have to make your character a certain way, and you have to get the best gear, and you have to follow specific spell rotations. It takes all the fun out of being weird and quirky, which, let's be real, the best players, the most memorable ones, are always a little weird. And systems like this encourage that. So in closing, for a technical playtest, this did exactly what it needed to do. Day one failures? Yeah, that's the point. This is where things break, so they don't break later. Everything I've said here is surface level, because that's all this test is meant to support. So instead of tearing it apart, I'll say this. It's rare to see a game this early, and it's worth appreciating that we got the chance. Until next time, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next world. Oh, and before I go, here's a video of my cat, who I woke up for this. To give a shout out to my newest members, Just Doug 0110 and Kusky Plays. Thank you for enabling me.